You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted Best of Las Vegas. Give them a call, 702-727-9900.
Thank you for joining us here on News 25 and Ace Country Radio and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices on this Friday, June 6th, 2025. Good evening. I'm Chris Palermo. Here is what's happening. An injury accident occurred earlier today in the south side of the town. News 25 has the details.
Jason Ernest of Mount West Lawyers. Don't be bullied by insurance companies. Call me, 775-727-9500.
Today, Friday, June 6th, at approximately 11:20 a.m., emergency crews responded to a two-vehicle injury accident at the intersection of Vicky Ann Road and Jean Avenue. According to initial reports, a white Chevy Equinox traveling westbound on Jean failed to yield the right-of-way of a northbound brown Ford F-150. The Ford struck the driver's side and rear passenger door of the Equinox, causing significant damage. Prompt Valley Fire and Rescue transported both drivers to Desert View Hospital with injuries currently listed as unknown. Traffic was shut down in all directions as officials conducted an investigation and cleared the scene.
More news now. A bill passed by the State Assembly and Senate that restricts food chain restaurants from using styrofoam has officially been vetoed by Governor Joe Lombardo. Roy Roselle has the details.
Nevada Governor Joe Lombardo has officially vetoed Assembly Bill 244, a proposed measure that would ban the use of polystyrene foam containers in large chain restaurants across the state. The bill has sought to prohibit the establishments with more than 10 locations from using disposable containers made of polystyrene, or commonly known as styrofoam. Smaller restaurants would have been exempt unless they operate in states that already enforce similar bans. Let's take a look at the Assembly meeting that brought this item to the Senate.
Thank you, Speaker. Assembly Bill 244 prohibits a food dispensing establishment with 10 or more locations doing business in the state from selling, preparing, or providing food or beverages using a disposable foodware container that is made wholly or partially from polystyrene foam. A violation is subject to a civil penalty not to exceed $100 per day. Beginning January 1st, 2029, all food dispensing establishments will be prohibited from using disposable foodware containers that are made wholly or partially from polystyrene foam.
Are there any further remarks? Seeing none, the Chief Clerk will open the roll. Would anyone like to change their vote? The Chief Clerk will record the vote. There are 36 ayes, 6 nays. The bill having received a constitutional majority declared it passed and ordered transmitted to the Senate.
Over time, environmental advocates have long pushed for polystyrene bans, citing that the material is non-biodegradable nature and its harmful impact on ecosystems. To date, 12 states and numerous cities and counties across the U.S. have implemented these restrictions on polystyrene use. So far, Nevada will not be one of them.
And yesterday, closer to home, fire crews faced a dangerous blaze as a manufactured home became fully engulfed in flames. Intense heat from the fire caused ammunition and propane tanks on the property to ignite, adding to the chaos. News 25's Anthony Roberts was on the scene and has the story.
On Thursday, June 5th, at around 6 p.m., dispatch received multiple reports of a fire in the area of Kent Street and Hafen Ranch Road. Nevada Highway Patrol was the first to arrive on scene and confirmed that the blaze involved a structure fire that was quickly spreading to additional structures on the property. While crews initiated a defensive attack, exploding ammunition and propane tanks could be heard from a mile away. Residents parked along Kellogg Road and watched in shock as flames extended from the structure, reaching 15 to 20 feet in the air. News 25 spoke with Fire Chief Scott Lewis to learn more about the incident and emergency response.
Last night, Prompt Fire Rescue was dispatched for a report of an unknown type fire in the area of Kent Street and Hafen Ranch Road. As crews were responding, there were numerous RPs reporting heavy, dark-colored smoke in the area. and an NHP trooper arrived on location and confirmed not an unknown type fire, but actually a structure fire extending to other structures on the same property. The assignment was repaged, adding additional resources. As crews arrived on location, they found not one, but 6 structures. Some of them were attached together to form a string into a single residence. An additional 6 cars and all their multiple personal property stored around the original fire building. Crews found that there were no fire hydrants in the area. There was a long, narrow driveway that was unimproved. It was also tree lined, which created a very narrow way for our apparatus. One apparatus made its way to the top, close to the actual fire scene. The remainder of the apparatus had to remain on the hard surface. Thus, we had to stretch additional lines from the street down this long driveway so that we could supply the engine with the appropriate water. In addition to heavy fire load, we had additional fuel loads. We had weather in the area, creating shifting winds. We had explosions. We had discharging ammunition. We had venting propane. So it was a very dynamic scene, and we placed it at a high risk. We utilized large master stream devices placed on the ground in order to effect the suppression, which meant that we had to have larger hose lines coming down that narrow driveway in order to supply that original engine. Crews had the fire under control in less than an hour. There were no injuries. The fire is under investigation. The crews made good effort. We had assistance from the Sheriff's Office and NHP, who helped protect us with the pedestrian and vehicle management that was in the area. And overall, it was just a good job done by the crews. But again, a very significant fire event that has now occurred for several weeks in a row, mostly during the weekends. We remind people no unauthorized controlled burns. We're in a moratorium, number one. And number two, no unnecessary ignition sources outside the home that could cause such fires. Keep your properties clear as much as possible and make sure fire department has good access to get onto the property so we can get there timely, because every second counts when these fires are growing, especially wind-driven. Thank you.
More local stories, sports, and weather coming up. You're watching News 25.
Attorney Jonathan Nelson, don't you want to tell everyone about your awards?
That's right, Rhonda. J.K. Nelson Law has received Best Attorney of Pahrump for 6 years in a row. We've also been recognized by Best of Las Vegas. So if you have a legal need, stop by one of our 3 locations in Pahrump, Summerlin, or Southwest Las Vegas. Give us a call, 727-9900. And remember, when you need a lawyer,
You need Nelson. Ace Country Radio. Reach a larger audience all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, as far north as Fernley in Fallon, Nevada. Call 775-727-9400.
Make your dream home a reality with SME Cabinetry. We consider every client's project a priority and customize plans and precision installations for cabinets, countertops, flooring, and more. Does your kitchen need a makeover? Mention this commercial and we'll throw in an undermounted stainless steel kitchen sink with any full kitchen order. We're located here in Pahrump at 51 Emory Street, and we're open 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday through Friday and Saturday from 8 a.m. to noon. Call us today at 775-247-7500 or visit us online at smecabinetry.com.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Who am I? Wow, is that really me?
Hi, I'm Jonathan Greenhut, the CEO of Plexiderm. All it takes is 10 minutes to reduce the appearance of under eye bags, wrinkles, and crow's feet. The instant results are from naturally based silicates found in shell clay. Once applied, your skin tightens and firms. Take action with our Plexiderm 10-minute challenge. Try it today for only $14.95 plus get free shipping. Call the number on your screen.
We learn valuable life lessons from our loved ones. Lessons that protect our home and keep us safe. Like avoiding pests such as cockroaches that can be attracted to leaking pipes. or mice that are drawn to left-out food. And standing water around your home can be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Stopping pests that can spread disease is a valuable life lesson to pass down from one generation to the next. Learn how you can have a healthy, pest-free home. Visit pestworld.org.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
And welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Our U.S. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, honored this year's D-Day in our allied nation of France. Our News 25 Las Vegas correspondent, Maria Centers, now brings us highlights from Normandy.
Earlier today in France, our U.S. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, commemorated the 81st anniversary of the Allied invasion of Normandy with a fervent address at the Normandy American Cemetery. During Hegseth's speech on French soil, the Defense Secretary spoke of the bond between the United States and France regarding their shared sacrifices during the unprecedented military operation. Here's a recap of this year's remembrance by our U.S. Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth.
81 years ago, Hitler thought his Atlantic Wall was impenetrable. Many agreed. He clearly had not met enough Americans. A more daring assault had never been planned. The task was daunting, a frontal assault across the channel on beaches and cliffs strewn with obstacles and defended by heavily fortified bunkers. Our only advantage was that the enemy underestimated the strength of the Allied war cause.
The invasion saw roughly 160,000 troops crossing the English Channel on June 6, 1944, with more than 2 million Allied troops in France a mere 3 months later.
They prayed, they smoked, they joked, they wrote home, they looked at photos. They knew many of them would not make it out alive. And they would have to rely on each other to succeed or to just survive. The assault began quietly before dawn on June the 6th, with radio silence as paratroopers and gliders landed in the early hours. These men flung themselves into the abyss of night, lit only by the fire of German tracers.
D-Day veterans were in attendance during today's ceremonies, with Hegseth consistently acknowledging their generation's fortitude.
We remember the losses. We celebrate the victories. We rededicate ourselves to the fight for liberty, security, and peace. And again, we should ask ourselves, could I do what they did? Could you? Could we? Could our kids? Do we produce such men? How do we produce such Americans? Our civilization today and going forward must answer those questions.
During his address, the Secretary of Defense spoke of how our warriors never let up and never faltered.
History is not over. Evil has not been eradicated from the globe. Good men are still needed to stand up. Our world is a better place when Europe and America are strong, free, and independent. France understands this well, and so do the men buried here, and so do the men sitting before me.
On behalf of everyone here at KPVM Television, thank you to all of our servicemen and women, both past and present, for your selfless service. I hope everyone has a wonderful weekend, and I'll see you from Clark County Monday night. Reporting from Las Vegas, I'm Maria Centers for News 25.
Thank you very much, Maria. Have a great weekend. And, well, my oh my, the Oakland Athletics are on a 10-game losing streak. Let's check in for the latest in sports with Mikey, News 25.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Las Vegas Aviators picked up a win last night, 2-1 over the Tacoma Rainiers. Rematch this evening at 7:05. The Oakland/Las Vegas Athletics, losers of 10 games in a row, in action on Thursday afternoon. Bottom of the first, taking on the Minnesota Twins.
He's now 4 for 12 in the series, and that'll bring up the first baseman, Tyler Soderstrom.
And now Soderstrom sends a charge to deep right. You can watch that one fly out of the ballpark and onto the berm. Add 2 more to the A's cause. Soderstrom's 13th makes it 7-0. This loaded situation. 2-2. Opposite way, deep to left. Bader twisting and turning. He still goes, and it's a grand slam for Tyler Soderstrom. A Soder slam in West.
Let's fast forward to the top of the ninth.
Well, it is Miller time.
And Clemens will take the walk. There's Brooks Leadabat.
Hit it on a few hops. Soderstrom to second. Miller will cover first. A clutch by Wilson, and that will close out the game. A 3-6-1 double play.
The A's welcome the Baltimore Orioles for a 3-game series this evening. Edmonton Oilers, Florida Panthers, Game 2 in progress. Las Vegas Aces are on the road tomorrow against the Golden State Valkyries. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thank you, Mikey. Attention all sky watchers. The strawberry moon will show its colors next week here in Pahrump. News 25 has the starry details.
Skywatchers across Pahrump, the U.S., and around the globe are in for a celestial treat as June's full moon, otherwise known as the strawberry moon, will reach its brightest peak early next week. The full moon is expected to shine its brightest on Tuesday, June 11th at 12:44 a.m. Pacific Time, offering a striking display for night enthusiasts all throughout the night. While the name is strawberry moon, which might suggest a pinkish hue, the name actually comes from the timing of strawberry harvests in North America. However, observers may also notice a warm amber glow to the moon as it rises, especially just after sunset on the evening of Monday, June 10th, which is expected to be the best visual experience. Whether you are an experienced stargazer or just stepping into the outside to enjoy the view, the strawberry moon is a beautiful reminder of nature's rhythm, a perfect excuse just to look up.
Well, that looks out of this world. Coming up, Mikey's going to let us know what's on Classic Country Breakfast. You're watching News 25.
Ethan was shot in the head in his best friend's house with an unsecured gun. The father, the gun owner, he stored his 3 guns and bullets in a shoebox. That has to be the most horrific experience that a human could ever have.
Revitalize and beautify your home. It's time to get those carpets, tiles, and upholstery looking good again. Call Todd's Carpet and Tile Cleaning and impress your guests with your home looking its best. They specialize in carpets, upholstery, tile, grout, draperies, area rugs, and carpet repairs. They even clean your garage and driveway. Call a local company with a reputation you know and trust. Todd's Carpet and Tile Cleaning, 702-595-0488.
At Fit Zone Gyms, we meet you where you are. No judgment, just results. We got your back.
We have everything you need to be successful, including a team of certified personal trainers.
We provide several fitness classes, from body sculpt to silver sneakers. There is something for everyone.
We are proud to be Pahrump's hometown gym. With memberships starting at $29 a month, we offer 24-hour access, tanning, no-term contracts, and much more. For more information, visit
myfitzone.com.
Valley Electric's budget billing can help you keep your monthly electric bill predictable. Instead of paying different amounts each month based on how much energy you use, budget billing averages your usage, and you're billed on a rolling 12-month average. So instead of big jumps from season to season, your bill stays steady with only minor changes. Signing up is easy. If you've lived at your current address for at least 12 months and are on a traditional billing plan, you're eligible. Call us at 775-727-5312 or visit us at vea.coop.
Hey Pahrump, if your loved one is in jail or has a warrant for their arrest, it can be scary. But rest assured, Matt Sadler, your friendly local bail bondsman, is available 24/7 to help. If you need to get them out of jail fast, A-Hope Bail Bonds will find the solution. They're always looking to say yes when others make it tough. Call Matt Sadler today at 775-442-2245 to get things started right now over the phone. Also make sure to check out his local podcast at thenevadapatriot.com. And God bless.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. I'm Chris Palermo. Here's Mikey now to tell us what's cooking this Sunday morning on Classic Country Breakfast on Ace Country Radio and streaming on Channel 25.8 and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
Howdy. Why did the egg become a comedian? Because he's always cracking jokes. On the menu this week on Classic Country Breakfast. Born on June 2nd, Carl Butler, we'll pay tribute to him. Born on June 4th, Freddie Fender, we'll pay tribute to him. Born on June 7th, Wynn Stewart, we'll pay tribute to him. And born on June 5th, my special guest, Gail Davies, calls the show. I just watched your performance of Grandma's song on the Songwriters in the Round thing, or the with Emmylou Harris was there and Lacey J. Dalton.
Roseanne Cash. I put that together. I had watched like 3 different Austin City Limits Writers in the Round that were all guys. And I called the producer, Terry Lacona, and I said, "What's the deal, Terry? Do you not think that there are any of us girls who could sit down with these guys and sing our songs?" And he said, "Well, I've already done 3 with men." He said, "Let's just do an all-female," which I hate. It's like this is in Catholic school, with boys on one side of the room and girls on the other. But it was an opportunity to put some female songwriters in front of young budding writers, females. And I said, okay, I'll do it. And I got a hold of everybody.
Classic Country Breakfast this Sunday morning at 8 on Ace Country Radio, streaming at Channel 25.8 and now on the new Ace Country Radio app.
News 25 Weather Cam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
That's the Lerner and Rowe Weather Cam here in Pahrump. And Death Valley National Park has issued a warning to motorcyclists for the upcoming summer, and maybe even this weekend, we're going into triple digits, just to really stay away because it's way too hot. Complete forecast is coming up.
You want your life savings and assets safe from the creditors and government after your death? Do you want to save time and confusion to your loved ones for the process of estate planning? Is it important to you to create a plan to provide security for you and your family? Will protect your assets from the creditors. Don't wait. Call David M. Grant, attorney at law, for all your estate planning needs. Call today, 702-938-2244 for a free 30-minute consultation.
Got bills? Need some pay? Then come be a cowboy trucker at Ponderosa Dairies in Amargosa Valley. They're currently seeking experienced CDL drivers to haul hay, grain, and milk while earning up to $2,000 a week. This isn't a job, it's a career. Whether you hit the open road or drive around Nevada's biggest dairy, they offer a great wage, benefits, and 401k retirement package. If you have what it takes to be a good hand, isn't it time you ride for the brand? The beautiful Ponderosa Dairies are currently hiring qualified CDL drivers who have doubles and tankers endorsements, as well as the ability to drive a standard transmission. If this is you, call Ed now, 702-682-3339. Once again, 702-682-3339. Send an email with your information to ap@ponderosadairy.com. Join the family at Ponderosa Dairy.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Hi, good evening, Nevada. I'm Mike Ruhan from the Channel 25 Weather Studios. Let's check out this weather map. Fernley saw 89 degrees, 91 in Fallon. Carson City saw 85 degrees. Tonopah, quite pleasant, 82 degrees. Goldfield, 84. 93 in Beatty, Amargosa. 98 like a boy band. 93 in Las Vegas, but Death Valley, forget about it. 109 degrees out there, but here in our beautiful paradise of Pahrump, we're currently sitting at 93 degrees. We had sunny skies today. High of 94, winds southeast 12 miles per hour, humidity 19%, and the sun rose this morning at 5:26. Look for it to go away at 7:58. 28% humidity this evening, winds out of the east-southeast 9 miles per hour with a low of 72 degrees. Let's check out the 7-day forecast. What's it going to be like this weekend? We got 100 tomorrow, 103 on Sunday. Monday, not much better, 104. Tuesday, 105. Wednesday, 103. And I'm excited for Thursday because it's back into the 90s, 99 degrees. And on Friday, 96 degrees. Back to the desk. Here's Chris.
All right, thank you, Mikey. Well, when I invite Mikey out to go golfing, I say we've got to hit the tee time early. And when I say early, like 7 a.m., because it gets warm out there on the golf course. That'll just about do it for all of us here this week at News 25. Make it a great weekend. I'm Chris Palermo.